What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's your friend Nate. Today I wanted to talk about why rich people buy stocks during financial crises, right? And it's because as an investor, you're always looking for the best deals out there, right? You're trying to purchase great companies at reasonable prices, which is already very hard to do. There's very, very few high quality companies out there. So a lot of times, financial crises, right, like 2008 or like now overseas, a lot of different economic crises going on. Recessions and depressions are like blood in the water for financial sharks, right? Overall, we see that there's still fantastic companies out there, but instead of paying 30 times free cash, they're selling at 7 times free cash. Same great company. Relatively similar cash flows, given the fact that they're experiencing a recession or a depression. And of course, long term, right, you're getting the same companies that you already wanted at significantly lower prices. Just the same way as, if you walk in somewhere looking for something retail related, you're looking for an item that you want, you're going to go with what's on sale. Well, investors, the items that they want are high quality stocks at fair prices. And when there's a sale, that's when we start coming out, right? We start laying down serious cash to take advantage of those discounts, the same way anyone else would when they're looking for something that they'd like in a store or grocery shopping or whatever. Same exact concept, right? I also wanted to just briefly touch on my philosophy when it comes to this and what that kind of looks like. So let's say you're looking at a particular company in a country, right? I have found that if you look at what happens internationally with international relationships, there could be some tensions there. And when there are tensions, you could see maybe, for example, up to like a 30% decline in stocks, right? If there's some geopolitical tensions going on there. So you have an opportunity to buy the company that you already wanted at a 30% discount. Now, let's say additional things happen due to those political issues going on. Let's say there's also some tension in that particular segment. Let's say it's technology. So let's say it's a certain country with some geopolitical tensions going on, and then they also have some issues with this particular segment in their country. Well, now, instead of that 30% discount, that's how you can see up to a 50% or so decline in the price of that company. And that's where you're going to see even more investors start to come in. Now, let's say on top of the geopolitical tensions and on top of the segment-related tensions, now let's say if something happens with an individual company. So if that happens, it is possible, and you see this more often than you think if you're looking for it, you'll see a fantastic company that is just experiencing a lot of turmoil for various reasons, and you could see that stock price come all the way down 70% cheaper than it originally was. Right? And again, that's when the investors are going to come out and pile in, getting that great company for an outrageously discounted price. Now, it's important to know a couple things when you're doing this. For one, never put in all your money at one time, right? You want to divide the amount of money you're willing to allocate towards a specific stock purchase into 4 or 5. Once you decide what you're willing to pay for a company, divide that into quarters or fifths. And then when it gets to those price points, buy back in. It'll stop you from putting too much of your money in at one time and not having the ability to purchase more if the price continues to decline. A second point on this process is if you're doing individual stock selection, right? So you're doing Phil Town's 4 M's, right? Meaning, moat, management, margin of safety. You know what you're willing to pay. You've done an analysis on the income statement, the balance sheet, the cash flow statements. You understand the segment and you're comfortable investing. You have to also understand that this is a 3 to 5 year process. And that 3 to 5 year process is actually an advantage because there are so few investors who can actually put money away for 3 to 5 years, right? All the professional investors, they have clients calling with negative sentiments on either the country, the segment, or the direct corporation itself. So you get massive amounts of selling, and you have the opportunity to purchase more and more shares for an extended period of time, which is obviously raising up your minimal rate of return, right? So you're just buying at lower and lower multiples of the free cash, which means you're getting higher and higher and higher rates of return. And it's going to make a huge difference over the course of 3 to 5 years. So make sure that if you're doing individual stock selection, that you have the patience to wait 3 to 5 years. You shouldn't care, like the best investors always say, right? Warren Buffett said this multiple times. Don't buy a stock for 10 minutes if you're not willing to hold it for 10 years. Put time on your side. That is the advantage. The advantage that there's such a fractional amount of investors who actually have the privilege of putting away money undisturbed for that period of time. All right, guys, keep asking the questions. I enjoy doing this. Don't forget to like and subscribe.